So heading into the weekend, Bitcoin has some work to do because currently it's not in position to create bullish divergence. In order for Bitcoin to create bullish divergence, it needs to have a lower low in RSI and then a higher low in price. And currently, this is a lower low. This body candle is below this low at 61.5K. So Bitcoin needs to rally this weekend and get back above 61.5K in order to still have the opportunity to create bullish divergence. However, with that said, it's not 100% necessary for Bitcoin to turn around because there was no bearish divergence on this top. If you look, this was a lower high compared to this high, and this was a lower high compared to this RSI high. Yet Bitcoin still rolled over. So there was no bearish divergence created, and we rolled over. However, it would definitely increase or help Bitcoin's chances of turning this around here and continuing upward if bullish divergence on the weekly time frame could be made. So we have to watch this weekly close. It's just very important at this point for Bitcoin to get back above 61.5K. And I'm going to show you on the 4-hour time frame what's been going on. So Bitcoin had the drop during the week. It had the bounce, came back to this level. And then on this bounce, it really needed to get back above this area. It did not. It didn't even really test it. It got close to it, but it didn't even test it. Tested it maybe one time and has now rolled over and has gone below this support. But currently, while I'm making this video, it's back above it. So we will see how this ends up closing. But on the daily time frame, it did close down there. But we're looking at the 4-hour time frame because this is on a very small time frame, this whole move right here. So this is progress. However, we need to at least start with a close above this on the 4-hour time frame, and then ultimately put in a higher high to at least have a conversation that this downtrend is over. Without a higher high, then you can't really make any sort of case that this downtrend's over. Like the more likelier continuation of this small term downtrend is that this would continue to go down or at least test this again. So we'll see if Bitcoin can at least get above here, and then it might have a chance to push back up into this range, maybe over the weekend. So overall, though, as I've always been saying, I think this is a consolidation. If you look at the volume hasn't seen any sort of major increase. This has just been downtrending in volume. It's been flat. We've noted that a few times, which is a good sign in a consolidation. Like if you see a big move up, you don't want to see an increased volume on the way down. You want to see the volume kind of decrease, and that's what we're seeing here. This is a sign that the trend will ultimately want to continue. Currently, it has not, but there's definitely positive signs. When we look at the Bollinger Bands, I'll show you they're continuing to squeeze on the Bollinger Bands width indicator. This is basically at the lowest point since back in September when Bitcoin was around 25K. And this doesn't show the direction. It just merely is stating that volatility is very low right now, but that won't last forever, as we all know, as Bitcoin is a very volatile asset. So I'm going to go to Ethereum, remove this. Ethereum potentially might next week have the ETF launch. We still don't have a date. We still don't have a confirmation. Gary Gensler did say things were going smoothly, but we still don't have a specific date. But I also don't think they're going to give much notice. I think it's going to be probably an announcement that within 24 hours, the ETF will go live. So there won't be much notice. So even if it were to launch on Tuesday, which is like the rumored date, July 2nd, there probably won't be much notice at all. So Ethereum on the smaller time frame, if you go down to the 4-hour, actually looks better than Bitcoin because it was able to make a higher high. It didn't make a lower low here. It didn't go below this, at least not yet. So Ethereum does look more constructive than Bitcoin, but it also needs to get above this area and ultimately this area as well to see a continuation. So we'll see what happens over the weekend. Bitcoin has work to do, and it'll be important for Bitcoin to get back above that 61.5K area over the weekend before the weekly close. So we will see what happens with that.